Now, you've heard the term far too often, Islamophobia. It's meaningless, by the way. I've never met anyone who actually has an incredible fear or hatred of Islam and Muslims. Why would you? It's a way of trying to silence and marginalize open expression, free debate about the subject of Islam, particularly Islamic radicalism. It's a contrived word. Islamophilia? Now, there's a new book by Douglas Murray, who's a wonderful author and journalist from the UK, and he joins us now from London. There it is. Do get copies immediately. A Very Metropolitan Malady. I love that. Douglas, first of all, let's get the basics out of the way. Where can people get this? Because it's not a book in tangible form. It's an e-book, isn't it?
Exactly. It's the first time I've done an e-book. The first time I've been persuaded to do it. And you can get it on your Kindles, on your iPads, everything else like that. You can get it from Amazon. You can get it from the MBooks website. The great advantage, as I've already realized about the whole e-book phenomenon, is that instead of a publisher saying, well, this highly relevant and topical book can fit somewhere in our 2017 catalogue, it can come out, as this one has, within a week. So it's right up to the moment, topical, post-Woolwich, post all of the terrible things that have happened recently. There it is, available in all good Kindle stores, whatever they may be.
Excellent. So go and buy it straight away. And by the way, is this Melanie Phillips' new publishing house?
It is indeed.
Right.
It's the first book to come out since her launch catalogue last month.
Okay, and for those, Melanie's been on the show in the past, we'll have her on in the future, a fine journalist who, again, has been attacked and condemned, the most vicious things said about her, libel, really, simply because she thinks and writes outside of the box. Now, this term, Islamophilia, did you coin the term?
I don't know, it's been around for a little while in some way, but it's something that sort of struck me recently that, I mean, the book is not about Muslims, it's not about Islam, it's about those ridiculous people, from presidents and prime ministers to pop stars, film stars, and indeed authors, who have in the last decade and more just said the most stupid things about one religion in particular, not because they are Muslims themselves, and not because there's anything wrong with, obviously, the ideas of Muslims and ordinary Muslims who this book is, as I say, not about. This book is about the strange situation in which a secular liberal society that critiques, and I think rightly critiques, all religions, stops at the door of Islam and says, we will treat this differently. And, we're not used to prime ministers or presidents or pop stars or anyone else talking about what they think of Christianity or what Christianity is. But we have become used to people saying and talking about Islam and talking about it in only one register. And that is one in which no criticism can enter. They talk about it in that way for lots of reasons. But I mean, among them are, at the very top, simple fear.
Yes.
Simple fear that if they don't say only obliging things, they might get killed. They don't admit that very often, but that's obviously a large part of it. And another part of it is the simple desire to be seen as a lovely, liberal-minded person who's endlessly open. And that may be the silliest bit of all.
Yeah. You know, there was a movie a few years ago, V. I didn't think it was very good, but a lot of people seem to rather like it. That's where we get these Guy Fawkes masks worn by some of the occupiers and so on. Stephen Fry, he's a very talented man, very gifted man. Stephen Fry is in the movie. Now, the movie, there's certain subtext, as you probably know. It's quite anti-Christian. The sort of semi-fascistic establishment in power is really Christian-based. Stephen Fry has a copy of the Quran hidden away because if people know he has it, it'll be taken away, he'll be in trouble. Now, Stephen Fry, I know he's an actor reading a line, but he didn't have to do that. Stephen Fry is half Jewish, he's an atheist, he's gay. I mean, this is the perfect cocktail for hatred for a Muslim. He praises, he raves about the Quran, the Muslim holy book, in this movie. You just sit there and think, Stephen, you're doing this in a post-Christian society, I suppose, that gives you that freedom and pluralism. Yet you're talking about a holy book that, if implemented in any nation state, would lead to you probably being incarcerated or killed.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen would be the first person against the wall. I mean, he'd probably have a choice over whether or not the wall was pushed on him or whether he'd be thrown off the top of it. But he wouldn't last very long. It's absurd. And I know a few years ago, the transvestite Turner Prize-winning potter, Grayson Perry, was asked why he didn't say the same things about Islam that he said about Christianity. And he was perfectly frank. He said, I don't want my throat cut. At least he was honest about it. Most people aren't honest. But you know, two of the cases I give in this book are two very well-known novelists, both of whom at one point in the last few years said something that was deemed to be critical of the Islamic holy texts. Both of them within 24 hours, Sebastian Faulks and Martin Amis, both of them within 24 hours completely retracted, positively slobbered about their religion. I mean, they said it was that Muhammad was perhaps the most extraordinary man who'd ever lived, and so on. Why did they say this? Because of fear. Because of simple fear. And if they could just do what the Potter, Grayson, Perry did and say the reason we have said this is because we are in terror, it would be some advantage, I think, for everyone. But, you know, to hear these people holding themselves out, and Stephen Fry, another one, to holding themselves out as critics of everything that is very comfortable to be a critic of, and not to mention this, is the symptom of our age. You know, I say in the book that some people who have been so used to poking at empty hornets' nests for their whole adult lives find a real hornet's nest and they run away.
That's beautifully put. Do please go right now. You don't even have to leave your house. Go to the internet and Amazon and Chapters and download this. It's essential we do understand what is going on. It may well be, God forbid, but it may well be too late unless we act now. Douglas, always such a great pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much.
Such a pleasure, Michael.